Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. My name is Fizz. We are back with another ARK Survival Genesis Part 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Astrodelphis, your brand spanking new space dolphin. Now, the Astrodelphis is a pretty interesting creature as it actually is aggressive to you. And where did they actually spawn? They spawned in the deep void of space. Well, technically in the middle between Garden and Eden. Alright, so now how do you actually tame these guys? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's pets and element. So put element in your last slot and then basically go up to it and pet it. At the moment, it looks like something with the cook of the taming percentages is a little bit off right now, so I don't think you can get 100% taming on them right now. Sorry about that, not my fault, but anyways, it was when we're testing. And that, yeah, basically you gotta pet the creature and then you gotta feed an element. The element will increase over time the amount. So the first one should be about 1, then the next one should be like 3, 5, 10, 12. It gets really more, then it kind of resets and goes back down here and there. It's kind of weird. You can go over about 100 to even almost 200 element per dolphin, and a 150 can definitely almost get you to 200 element easily. So just be aware of that. Make sure you get the pets because the pets are very crucial. If you're missing the pets, its taming percentage will go down, its affinity. So make sure you don't miss them. You need to keep petting it constantly. And yeah, that's basically it. After you tame it, that's it.
The crew saw one of those creatures swimming in the interstellar medium and named it Astrodelphis, space dolphin. Someone aboard figured out how to tame and ride them. Guess they must have had a lot of time on their hands.
Indeed, Helena. They must have had a lot of times to make a goddamn OP-ass saddle they have. They are the new tech saddle creature that is, to be honest, pretty disgustingly OP. So to drive the saddle, you need element and grenades. It's kind of like a tropa, and yeah, let's just start with that. So to fly the creature, you just get on it with the saddle, and you just move forward without giving it element or anything or any boost. It just basically flies around like a cute little dolphin. If you want to actually fly super speed and actually fast, hitting control on keyboard will give it a regular boost, and then hitting shift will make it go super boost. Now, here's a little thing you can get with the saddle. So this saddle can upgrade. Now, it's just a temporary buff to the dolphin as well. It has 2 upgrades. It has tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1 just gives it an increased attack speed, damage, and resistance. When you get it to tier 2, it does the same thing, but it's doubled. And how do you get this? Just killing creatures in the world will give it to you. Hell, even in PvP, if you kill creatures or people, it upgrades as well. It's actually quite crazy because this is like the first saddle that actually has upgrades, and you'll see these little floating little, like, I don't know, like they're like the saddle. They just float around. They're like blue little hexagon things going around, and you just fly into it with the dolphin and it'll give you an upgrade on the bottom right. It'll first be gray, then it'll be green. So pretty crazy if you ask me. Alright, now let's actually talk about its mobility. It can actually do barrel rolls, maneuvers, and dodges. It's actually pretty maneuverable of a creature. So to dodge left or right is double tap A or double tap D and on keyboard. To do a loop-de-loop is C, and to do a maneuver, which basically just reverses the way you're going, is X. So that's pretty cool. It's very mobile, and I really like how mobile. When you're in space, you kind of have free-form movement, also in the water. When you're like in Eden or Rockwell or just a regular map, your movement speed feels a little bit more restricted. It's more grounded, you would say, but overall, it's still very fun. Also, before I forget, if you're holding down A or D, you actually can get a slight boost turning radius as well. I don't know what you would even call this, but you can make the dolphin turn on a dime with that if you're holding down A or D, and it gives you a little boost. So So pretty cool, pretty maneuverable. All right, now let's talk about its pew-pews, or its actual abilities. So let's start with left click. So left click has two functions. It actually has pew-pews, which is just a standard attack machine gun. And then also if you hold it down, it has a lock-on target. And this is where it gets crazy, because that lock-on can be, like, it stays locked on. Now, if you're fighting another Astrodelphis, sorry, you can actually do dodges and loops and everything to remove that lock-on target thing. So that's really cool if you're doing PvP, obviously. But like for creatures and everything, it's relatively good. And I recommend using that if you're trying to level up the saddle for the boost and everything. That's probably the easiest way to get the saddle ups, because killing them with that is a lot easier. Alrighty, and now let's talk about its right click. So its right click is what uses the grenade ability, and it's basically a massive explosion and a massive damage. Now, the explosion is not what you see. So its blast radius is definitely not as big as it actually shows. I think it's like only a 3x3 to be honest, but the explosion's like a 6x6. It definitely isn't. So just be aware if you're on the edge of it. It definitely it does not do that much damage. It could be a little bit bigger, but it's definitely does not feel accurate at all. I think it's more for a smoke and mirrors kind of effect, and it looks pretty cool and it sounds really interesting, but it still doesn't make sense why it's shooting regular grenades and not tech grenades, and it shoots it out of its mouth, by the way. So be aware of that. I don't know what you'd be aware about, but there you go. The more you know. Alrighty, so the last ability is Spacebar, and if you hit it out of the water, it's just a big electrical ball. I don't think it actually does anything. It's just a ball of lightning. It's pretty cool though, but if you're in the water, it's a sonar, which is really cool. It's got a pretty good, decent range, and it's got like a 5-second cooldown, so it's pretty cool. If you're like in PvP, then you could probably obviously find like bases that are hidden in the rocks or whatever with this, because it can pick up people and also dinos, so really cool. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Astrodelphis. It is breedable, clonable. It's not restricted on all those, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I wasn't really a fan of the saddle when I originally saw it, but after like playing around with it and actually like really looking at the saddle and everything, I really like it. I thought the saddle was gonna be like not airplane-like. I thought it was gonna be more jet-like. Like, you know, like an actual jet's inside of it, but I like it. I like how it transforms the wings out in, and it's fun. It is a really fun creature, so I'm excited to see events with these that we're gonna do for my server, which you can check that out in the description down below, or you know, just see some PvP videos. I'm actually kind of curious to see how this is gonna be used in PvP. Yeah, I'm very excited. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Hopefully you enjoyed. We do have a giveaway for plushies on my Discord right now. Link in the description down below. We'll see you guys on the next one.